Ketch-up.
We've been stuck inside for so long, so we decided to go camping. Have you ever been camping?
Camping seems like so much fun, but we've never been camping. What should we do?
Maybe go shopping.
Play video games?
Watch TV?
That doesn't sound right. Maybe we should hear from our friend Giovanni about what he does when he goes camping.
Hello, my name is Giovanni. What I like to do when I go camping is some of the things are zip lining, water rafting, play kickball, set up tents, sit around the bonfire, have s'mores, and so much more.
Wow, those ideas sound a lot better.
They do. Let's see if we brought the right stuff to go camping.
I have a license plate.
Okay guys, give us a thumbs up if you think that's a good one, or a thumbs down if we don't need it. Do we need it? I brought a light bulb.
Oh, a light bulb. I don't know about that.
Oh, wait. Know where to plug it in.
Yeah, all right.
Thumbs down.
Let's see. Oh, okay. A lighter.
Oh, that's a good one. Thumbs up. We need a lighter.
All right, good. I brought something good.
And look what I brought to go with the lighter. A candle.
All right.
Yay.
All right. What about this plate? It's very fancy.
I don't think we need a fancy plate.
Maybe a maybe. A maybe? Maybe.
Next thing I have, oh, this is a big one. Gotta be careful taking it out. A pot. Well,
you're gonna plant some flowers?
I don't think we need to plant flowers, but you never know. It might come in handy. So I think it's in the maybe pile.
All right, we can put our hot dogs in it.
Yeah, or look.
All right, a CD.
No CD players out here. Cookies.
Oh, yes. Those are actually, I think those are supposed to be mine. Those were mine.
We do need food, so I'll share.
All right. The vase.
Don't think we need a vase. Oh, oink, Piglet. We can read a bedtime story before we go to bed. I think it would be okay to keep.
What about my stethoscope?
Hope we don't need a stethoscope while we're camping. Let's hope we don't need it. Oop. I got one that I know we're gonna need. Flashlight.
Oh, you know
that
what?
way we can see when it's
I have one of those
dark out.
too.
Nice. We've got 2 flashlights to help us see tonight. Oh, I have one more thing in there. Oh, this would be so good. Popcorn.
All right, but no microwave.
No. Oh, well.
I don't think we have a microwave. All right, last thing I have, glue stick.
What do you think is a glue stick?
Well, you can glue the leaves together. Wow, I think we might need some help for packing. Giovanni, what do you bring when you go camping?
What I bring before I go camping is toothpaste, toothbrush. I bring lanterns, flashlights. I also sometimes bring some sunglasses if it's gonna be hot or sunny over there. I bring sleeping bags. I bring some pillows, pillowcases, food, shirts, shorts, underwears, and a hat.
You know, when Moses and the Israelites traveled in the wilderness, they didn't have time to pack a lot of gear. In fact, they had only what they needed and were able to live outside for 40 years.
You know, I have that story here. Let's see. It says, living in the wilderness. The people of Israel were now finally free from their Egyptian taskmasters. They were never to be troubled by them again. How they rejoiced that God had saved them. Moses wrote a song about God's power and how he had brought them through the sea on dry land. The people sang the song and praised God. So, Their journey to the promised land began. They traveled with all they had brought out of Egypt, their children, their flocks, and their herds. God had many things to teach them now. They had to learn to depend on Him all the time. Their first problem was no water. At last, they did come to a place where there was water, but when they tasted it, they found it could not be drunk because it was so bitter. The people soon started to complain to Moses, who prayed to the Lord. Then God showed Moses a tree, which he cut down and cast into the water. The water became fresh and sweet, fit for all the people to drink. Moses spoke to the people, "God will be with you to the promised land, but you must trust Him and do what He says. Do not be afraid. He has promised to look after us." Food was the next problem. There was not enough food in the wilderness to feed all these people. Again, they began to complain to Moses, "We're all going to die!" Moses prayed again to the Lord. That evening, thousands of birds called quails came flying over the camp of Israel. They landed among the tents, and the people ran and caught them and cooked them to eat. Next morning, the people found that a kind of heavy dew had fallen all around the camp. It was like crystals of frost. "What is it?" they asked Moses. He answered, "This is the bread the Lord has sent you. Gather it up, collect it every morning. Do not keep any till the next day, as it will go bad. God will send it fresh to you every day until we reach the promised land." They called the bread manna. When the sun came up, it melted away, but there was no more there the next morning for everyone. In these days, God showed His people that they needed to trust Him and obey Him. The children of Israel kept some of this manna in a pot to take to the land of promise. It would always remind them of how God had fed them in the wilderness. So God provided for His people both food and water as they traveled on toward the promised land.
Moses led the Israelites into the wilderness, and when there was no food or water, they complained to Moses. But God provided quail and manna and water from a rock for His people. He provided all of their needs.
Take some time with your family to make a list of how God has provided for you. And then make another list of how God has blessed you even above all of those things.
You could even take it one step further and make a meal for your neighbor and leave it at their door.
Let's go camping! All right, did you get the water?
Where are the s'mores? That's what's important.
No, s'mores?